Welcome to the Awesome. I'm Big Roy, and this is the Strike Force Master Launch Podcast. Here's my co-host, Chewbacca84.
Thank you very much, Roy. How are you this week, mate?
I'm doing awesome. How about yourself?
Oh, mate, not too bad, not too bad. Safe and tucked away in the heat of the desert where it's far too hot for COVID to live outside, hopefully. That's my gamble anyway.
Yes.
I'm sure that's real. Why not? Yeah, I saw you guys had some absolute legendary people of intellect going to speak about why they shouldn't wear masks in the US this week.
It's very interesting in the country right now.
Yeah, did I tell you that I was introduced to the legend that is Florida Man this week?
I think so, yeah.
Are you aware of this thing?
The legend of the Floridians.
No, Florida Man specifically. So I had no idea about this game. So you type into Google the words Florida Man and then any date of the year that you like. And without fail, and I've done this multiple times during the week to basically make sure this wasn't just a brief thing. No matter what date you pick, it is Florida Man and then being arrested for the most ridiculous thing in human history. Like guy arrested for pouring ketchup on his newborn's head, or arrested pantsless on a lawnmower wearing a wig because he thought that would confuse the police who were trying to hunt him down. Like, just amazing headlines. If you haven't played Florida Man, I recommend it. So there's some absolute crackers, man. It's hilarious. It's good to know that these sort of people are not just isolated to Australia. It makes me feel better about my people.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. So for those of you who aren't aware, this is, as Roy said, the Strike Force Masters of Launch podcast. We do this every single week for you guys because we love you guys. I'd love to say we love this game every week, but I think it's like any relationship. There's ups, there's downs, you know?
Yes.
Exactly. All right. So look, if you want to have your questions run out live on air, make sure you head on over to the Strike Force Masters of Launch Discord channel. You can put your questions there for submissions. And we're very lucky that we do have a very awesome community that listens to this podcast and supports it every single week. Now, if you'd like to help us grow this show, if you're an alliance, tell your friends, tell your buddies to make sure they tune into this show for the advice and the shenanigans that we get up to here. If you want to go a little step further, though, if you've got a couple of bucks spare in your pocket, you can head on over to patreon.com. There are packages starting out from just $1, going upwards, and it just allows you to hang out with us a bit more behind the show. But more importantly, it allows us to reinvest in the show. So what you're hearing right now is the new microphone. I've been saving up my Patreon money for months now. So I'm more professional with my setup, Roy, but still the least professional I've ever been with this. With attitude, really, you know?
Yes.
Now, look, if you want to do that, as I said, head to patreon.com/SFMOL, as our new master level patron, Agent Zero, has done this week. So welcome to the crew, my man. And also a big shout out to our existing supporters. We only read out our journeymen and masters every week. So to Andrew M, X23, Beer God, Mookie, The Dawkins, Justin Beard, Paul Pike, Irish Avenger 81, Scooter, Yule, Chilbo, Cravino, Ticken Arthur, Dun and Dun, Real East, Lemon Rust, Big Spartan, Bowslayer, Legriff, Cheetah, Hobbs, Ham Deezus, Domino, Alan G, Morphine Dream, Grimnos, Captain Hammer, Michael L, Metalhead, Uthred, Abyssarium, and Slim. Thank you to the journeyman. And to our masters, JW, Sen, Della, Maseo, Bart, Liquid Cool, Dragus, Assassin, Judas, Moon, Folpsy, Kane, Sparks, Jackie, Jay Shriver, Tuggernuts, Commander Iceman, Shalasta, Dracathor, Jedi Matrosa, Mikey H, Ace Trainer, Incorrect User, Dahooch, Brian C, Bronzy, Neil Wiley, Wiley, Lazy James, Sumo Raider, Honeycombs, and of course Agent Zero. Thank you to all of you. Now, we are aware that obviously that section's getting a little bit long at the moment, especially for our monthly shout out to all of our patrons. So we're working on some great ways to recognize those people that support us. But for those of you listening to the show that are not hearing your name, we want to get into the good stuff as quick as we can. But let's say that you love what you hear, but you don't have cash in your pocket, but you got 2 seconds up your sleeve. Roy, what is an absolute free-to-play version of helping this show?
Yes, you can help us out by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We got 2 new ones this week. First from Mace the Bear, exemplary podcast with hosts that go above and beyond. I want to thank both of y'all for the awesome work and entertainment you provide me and other members of the MSF community every week. I work a pretty mundane job, but listening to both of your voices helps me get through the day. Most of all, I want to thank you both for the warning y'all mentioned at the beginning of Red Star Watch. My uncle lost his life to alcohol addiction this past October, and even though his addiction was not gambling related, I extremely appreciate the care y'all take to help people struggling with addictions. That kind of care shows a true respect and compassion for people going through horrible addictions, and also shows a responsible approach to help the many people dealing with this very common issue, especially when gambling is so common in games like MSF. Thank you for being responsible and genuinely concerned in the way you use your platform where many people hear what you have to say. I sincerely thank you both so much. On a lighter note, I also enjoy Choose Many Voices, especially the game developer German scientist one. You are truly one of the best impressionists I have ever heard. Keep up the great work, guys. Thanks again. Very awesome. Thank you,
I'll have to find a way to shoehorn that voice in here somewhere.
I think you can find a way.
You always get too hard.
And the next one is hilarious. For Decimal Point Jeff.
Hey, we got a celebrity on the show. What the hell?
All right. Good riddance. Hey, guys, just wanted to say, love the show. However, I would still appreciate if you would lay off from time to time. I do have a hard gig getting offers into the app at fair and reasonable prices for the player base, while satisfying the greed of my new underlords. I did slip in a Ghost Rider and Gold offer only a little while ago that I hope you appreciated, although I can see from my end that Roy buys all the offers regardless of how absurdly priced they are.
Yeah, accurate.
Anyway, I just dropped by to say that since you both left the A&R Alliance, my luck has changed for the better. It may have just been a good seed, but I pulled a 7 Red Star Crystal and 7 Red Star Miles from just 3 standard orbs today. Good Lord. Never had a single 7 Red Star drop before that, so thanks, guys. Please don't come back. Regards, Jeff.
That's definitely one of our boys. That's definitely an A&R person. Yeah. I do have to say that my 2 favorite new Reddit accounts this week is definitely Decimal Point Jeff, but the one that's even better than that is Drunk Cerebro. Have you seen this yet?
Yeah, I think I saw that.
So good. I want him to be the new community manager. I don't want normal Cerebro. I want Drunk Cerebro going forward.
I don't want normal.
So much better. So much better.
You're going to make him cry, man.
That would imply that he ever listened to the show.
Or you.
He definitely ignored DMs there for a very long time. But look, thank you very much to both of those guys, especially Decimal and Jeff. We appreciate the work that you do for us. I mean, I get it sometimes. You have to pretend that you're not a Cylon and blend in over there. Like you have to sort of do the occasional bad thing. I get it. But, and what was the name of the first reviewer? Sorry?
Mace the Bear. I think I just closed it. So.
Mace the Bear. Look, I'm really sorry to hear about your loss, man. And look, it's exactly why we have that segment at the start of every show, because not only were we aware of this as a thing in the wider gaming community, but especially for MSF. Like, we have been in alliances where people genuinely went through this. You know, there was 2 guys that literally disappeared from the face of the planet as far as we knew for exactly that reason. You know, people had nearly been divorced, and addiction's a horrible thing. And companies who design things to feed into that addiction are terrible, terrible people. So thank you, mate. We do literally the least that we can to help out. So, all righty then, Roy. Have you got any major updates to your account this week you want to talk to the folks about?
I am nearing a personal milestone. I am 2 away from 150 first place finishes in Arena. So,
oh, nice.
That's nice. I've been tracking that. So, yeah, I've been loving Black Order, man. It's T14. That's hard to say. 14ing. The whole group has been amazing. They've been amazing at Alliance War defense. Got another MVP. They got like 6 defenses themselves. Wow. And I actually 2-shotted Note 11 in my second run of DD3. And the last like 2/3 or half of that Note 11, which is with all the Human Torch and stuff, I used the full Black Order, which I didn't think would work. I tried other teams, but I tried that, and it finished off that part of that node. So I was amazed by that. So they've been, and of course, amazing in Arena, and then using the big 3 in Raid. So it's excellent choice to T14 them, from what I've seen.
Absolutely. Because you've got quite a big Cull Obsidian, don't you? Haven't you got like a 6 red?
No, he's actually one of my lowest. He's at 5, and I only have him at 4 and 4 actually.
Right. Okay. Because I can tell you now, in Arena, the couple of guys that do have 7 red stars there, oh man, like even with how much easier it is to beat Black Order with Black Order after they fixed or changed the Thanos passive. Yeah, those ones, if it comes down to just him, because he's always the last man standing. Because as soon as he gets that regen, he's not getting flipped, and it's a real pain in the butt.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, man, he hits like
definitely leaning toward taking him to 7 red with my promo credits.
Yeah, there's a lot of good choices there. So let's move on to what'll probably be a very short segment this week, I imagine. But before we do, the thing you've just heard about, of course, is our disclaimer. We are going to be talking about in Red Star Watch the Red Star Orbs. Now, they are a loot box mechanic, which is basically a shiny, sparkly word for gambling. So if you are someone who is under the age of 18, if you are someone who has a history of gambling addiction or an addictive personality, please do us and you a favor and just skip forward about 3 minutes from now. But for everyone else, I hope you enjoy the absolutely short, premature version of Red Star Watch. Did you open anything this week?
I kept trying to open for Negasonic to get more on her, but I did not get any, unfortunately. So I'm actually quite low on Red Star Orbs, which kind of sucks now. So I'm hoping I can pull well for X23. I have noticed, though, that I've pulled more of them on blue stacks lately, and my pulls have been horrible on there, where all my good pulls have always been on my phone. So maybe that's part of it. So I don't know.
Is this going to be Seed Theory 2.0? Android versus...
maybe it's another option. Maybe it's another fork of the Seed Theory. But I mean,
oh my god!
But then my regular pulls for other orbs have been better on blue stacks. So like these Unity orbs. We probably should wait, but I will say it was just amazing. It's like, because we got the 15 orbs, which we'll talk about. So I didn't think I was going to get Negasonic to 4 stars, because I was going to be 9 short. I was down to my last 2 Unity orbs, pulled 5 on her. I was like, oh crap, I got to pull again. And I pulled another 5, and so I got an 81 of 80, so got her to 4. Did not see that coming. And also my pulls for Domino were amazing as well. She's at 70 of 130, and there's like a day or two. I actually started back up for refreshing her things, because like, wait a minute, they're probably going to have X-Force be used for the next legendary, so I still need to farm as much as I can on her. So ended up very well on her too.
That is very good. Yeah, I'll talk about my Negasonic when we get to that section of the show. But yeah, Domino I didn't do so hot. Again, I didn't spend any cores on her whatsoever, because I've just been avoiding this team. And plus, the more that I do that, the better it guarantees for folks out there that you guys are definitely going to get that next legendary when you get it. I'm doing my part for the people, Roy.
Yes.
So I only finished up at 51 of 80, which, to be honest, is further than I thought that I would get by not coring. And there was even a couple of days where work was a bit nuts that I actually didn't get my middle refresh in either. So I'm actually quite impressed with that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Hopefully they'll make her easily farmable. They usually do, the event ones.
Yeah, it just means a 5-star unlock. And even then, possibly a little bit of coring required. It depends on what offers they put on the table, I suppose. But look, let's not put that cart before the horse. Maybe we get lucky, Roy. Maybe they pick a different team. But yeah, probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
All right. Now, this one is not really public news, but if you've been scouring the Discords, you probably saw this information during the week. So last week on the show, Roy, we obviously did our conversation about what we know so far about ISO 8. All right. So we're not in the playtest. It's good for us because it means that we're allowed to talk about whatever we do come across when people slip up. So we were hoping that this was going to be the big chance, the big opportunity that all those summoner characters would basically have their time in the sun. They'd finally have a chance to shine.
Yep.
No, they're still dead.
No.
So, unfortunately, folks, the summoners, the summons that you bring in, they will not be affected 1 iota by ISO 8. They will remain unchanged. What's worse for you, because I know that he's your boy, Sinister, his clones will not be affected by ISO 8 either.
Yeah. I finally got him to 5 now, and it's nice, but it's like I kind of miss the boat on him. It's like I haven't gotten to enjoy the high red stars on him that I pulled, because they took so long to make him farmable. It kind of sucks. But.
Well, the thing is, and I kind of see what people are saying, but at the same time, it's very specific. So, like a lot of the other guys that talk about the game, they will always say, he is the most scalable character in the game, because whoever they get, if like a new character that has power creep and they're overpowered and they're broken, is that you can just clone that person. Yep. But I think the reliance on that of having 7 red stars and then having to wait until they actually put that content in the game is crazy, because if it's for Arena, it means you have to sub out or break up a team to possibly be able to clone 1 person. So in PvP, I don't think it's anywhere close to ideal. Yeah. And for PvE, let's face it, like that power creep, I mean, Ultima 7 is how old now? And it's still the endgame content? Like, we still don't have all these crazy characters in there, which let's face it, if you had D4 scaling and there was a Black Bolt in there, we'd all be doing D1, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, I agree with the concept that he's a very scalable character, but the problem is that the PvE content takes so damn long to catch up. I just don't think it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. But the real interesting one at the moment, apparently there's some bugs at the moment. One I've only heard from one person, but the other one I've heard a lot. At the moment, Phoenix's Dark Phoenix rebirth, if you will, does not get ISO 8 applied to it.
Nice.
Now, they're saying apparently it's a bug, but could you imagine that they leave that?
I can imagine that quite clearly.
I don't think they would, but that's nuts. But obviously, because that's that kind of a different summon, if you will, the same thing's true for Empowered Thanos, that I heard from one person that, it may not be applying to his Empowered form either, which is pretty nuts.
Yep. Quite dumb.
Yeah, but they're two different characters too. Like, I mean, if it's Thanos for Black Order, you kind of want like a real DPS-y type ISO 8. Whereas if it's him as a tank form, you want something that's going to give him longevity. So it's kind of hard to sort of, I guess, get one perfect ISO 8 for both. I imagine it's just going to be damage.
Yeah.
Yup. All right, so as you said, you jumped the gun, but let's go straight into it now. Anyway, mate, let's talk about the Negasonic Milestones event that is now finishing up as of, well, by the time this podcast comes out anyway. It was a bit of a show, this particular event, in the sense that during the week, the conversation that evolved was amazing. So, I mean, the first day of the event, you couldn't earn any bonus shards, right? Couldn't get any bonus things when you were playing the Blitz and Ozroy.
Well, actually, I think it was about half the time you got 0 because it's like they messed up the drop table or something. So it's like a lot of times you'd get none, but sometimes you'd get like 50 or 375.
Yeah, so there was two different parts of this. So the first day was the orbs event. So it's like your premium orbs and your red star orbs. So they never do the bonus ones on those anyway.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then it finished that way as well. So the first and last day of this event, you couldn't actually earn any of the bonus orb shards anyway. Now, in the first 3 days, there was two completely opposite bugs, which I do not understand how that can occur, right? The first one was for the first 2 hours or 3 hours of the event, is that any win you got in Blitz counted like you were using complete Unity characters. So people who ran like 2 or 3 rotations before their reset had like tier 19 of the milestones done in their first rotations.
Yep.
Which was insane. Well, of course, the rest of us missed out. No commentary there from Fox Next about, hey, let's make it up to everyone else, shall we? Then we discovered that for the rest of that, they apparently coded it in a way that very regularly, or more often than not, you were going to get 0 bonus shards for your Blitz wins, which by itself was pretty gross as well. So they fixed that after a couple of days. So it was almost like a third of this event, you couldn't actually earn what was advertised. And then the milestones required and the maths behind it was so high, Roy, that even they realized we've made this unachievable. And like you said at the start of the show, they said, okay, fine. We're going to give everyone who logs in for 3 days 15 of these orbs, and we'll get it right next time.
Yeah.
Did you... What did you finish? Everything?
I was so happy that they gave the 15 orbs. I finished all the Negasonic shards. I didn't get any of the mini uniques, but I don't really need them at this point. Mm-hmm. So it was perfect amount. I didn't have to blitz like crazy. I didn't even have to blitz like the last day and a half. So it's very nice.
Yeah, I was about the same. As soon as I saw that announcement, I did the maths and said, okay, how many orbs do I need? And I was like 16. So I blitzed enough to get one more orb, and then I just stopped. So I had 2 of the milestones left, 19 and 20 on the Creative Differences milestones, which is where you just got the extra orbs or Negasonic anyway. And then completely finished the other one, though.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, so I blitzed more this week than I have in months, but I enjoy blitzes like this because I don't have to keep staying at 8.3, grinding every 2 hours. This is literally just, I pick my 3 rotten teams, I make them lose, and then I take the easy mode using the Unity characters to victory. It's great.
Yep.
I could blitz when I wanted to, I got the outcome that I wanted to. I wouldn't have got there without their 15 orbs, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, right.
But I liked that factor. I liked how achievable it was. I don't think we're ever going to see that being achievable again because I can't see them messing up. Well, actually, no, I do see them messing up again. I don't think they're going to mess it up like that again, I should say.
Yeah. They'll find a new creative way to mess up.
Oh, look, I mean, it's been a spectacular week already for that, which we'll talk about that and a few other news items coming up. So you said for Negasonic, you finished up where?
Right at 4 stars, so like 1 of 80.
Yeah.
Or 1 of 130, sorry.
Yeah, so I'm just in front of you. I was at 4 of 130, so almost identical.
Nice.
Yeah, so again, like if you walk out of a free event not spending anything on it with 4 yellow stars, that's a good campaign. Like, so I think for the most part, it may not have been perfect, and obviously there's RNG dependency, but the fact that you and I came out so close together, I think probably says that, yeah, there wasn't too much of a difference with this campaign for a lot of us, which is really, really good.
Yes. I would take them messing up in every event and giving us the stuff so we don't have to grind like crazy. I'm fine with that.
That's the problem, man, is that the first 2 out of the 3 times they did mess up with this event, they didn't offer anyone anything. Like, the advantage that they let people have was crazy, and then the disadvantage they let people have was crazy, and then it was just that they messed it up again with the back half of the event. They were like, all right, fine, you can have stuff, I guess.
Because you know how long it would take to get those 15 orbs just grinding the fragments? Good lord.
Well, I tell you who I do feel sorry for is that I think it was like roughly every 2 days or 3 days, they were bringing out those packs. Like I think it was buy 12 of the orbs. I feel sorry for those people that bought those and like hours later, the announcement came out going, oh, we're going to give away 15 for free. And it's like, I'm sorry, did I not just spend $60 on less than that? And you're giving away 15 for free? What the hell is that?
Yeah, so if you're going to spend, always try to wait till the last possible minute to see if they
give them a chance
like
to mess up the coding as much as possible, guys.
Yes,
that's
pretty much.
The takeaway.
Unfortunately, that's the best thing to do.
Now, speaking of a bug that apparently we were all silly, Roy. We all missed this. It was in our faces this whole time. The milestone orbs, Roy, they've been bugged for months and months and months and months. You heard this, I'm guessing?
Yeah, so I will have to admit that I guess you are right that they don't listen because we have talked about that gear being in the milestone orbs before. So,
but not at any point though. They never mentioned that it wasn't supposed to be there. So what we're talking about, folks, is that in the milestone orbs that we've had for quite a while, the ones that have Coulson and Captain Marvel in them, is that they had the opportunity that you can actually get fully crafted mini unique pieces, right? Now, obviously, that was a very rare drop chance, but apparently they're saying that was a bug. Now, that's a bug. They've taken what? How long has that been around? I want to say 7-8 months. I might be wrong.
Yeah, something like that.
Right? And then they just randomly removed it. And a lot of people lost their mind. A couple of content creators did videos on it. That basically forced it. I reckon that if no one actually kicked off about that, I reckon they just would have snuck that one through. Yep. So they did put out an announcement basically saying, all right, fine. It was a bug. We removed it. We probably should have told you about it, but we didn't.
Yeah, pretty much. You guys caught us, so I guess we have to say something.
Yeah. So what they're going to do for a week, and this is kind of like the Red Stars mess up thing too, right? Is that when they did the Red Star rework, they said, oh, yeah, we forgot to tell you, we completely ruined the currency. So we'll tell you what, guys, we'll give you 1 week. You can buy as much of those as you want, and then away you go. So that's what's going to happen. At some date, I don't know if it's next week or I haven't seen the dates, Roy. They plan on giving us a week where any of those orbs that you open still have the full chance to get those. But going forward, if I read this correctly, Roy, they're going to just introduce the chance to get a drop of some of those mini uniques instead. Yeah. So I'm not against that if you have a higher drop rate chance on what the previous thing was, because obviously you should have a higher drop chance to get one little thing versus a crazy low rate to get the full piece. But something tells me that's not going to be the way it goes.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll still be the tiny chance for the little piece.
Yes. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, it could be something that works out better for a lot of people. It could be something that works out worse. We'll have to wait and see on that one once we finally see that.
Yep.
Now, things that are overdue. probably the one we've talked about the most being we can't believe they've never even commented on this. And the good news is, Roy, they're finally there. They've summoned Mjolnir, they've summoned Stormbreaker, and the reality is they are swinging both of the ban hammers finally, Roy, finally, on these blitz, bot, cheating buttholes.
Yes, finally.
Man, it feels like we've been talking this for a long time. I remember showing the screenshots and proof maybe 4 months before I quit Envoy, right? And was told, we checked, that's not a big deal. Let it go. Here we are. Finally, Roy, finally. Now, they brought out an announcement. Let me read it out here. One of the topics has been actively discussed for the past few months has surrounded the Blitz feature. As this is one of the methods used to release new characters into the game, we understand that players have concerns about a small number of players, is it though, that claim to be using third-party applications or scripts, aka bots, to interface with emulators to play Blitz while they are away from screen. This has been discussed at length by many members of the studio, as we don't want to jump to conclusions or make any hasty decisions. Upon many months of investigation and discussion, we have a plan in place to move forward. So to be clear, and they used bold here, so that's when you know they're serious. The use of third-party applications, bots, scripts that simulate player activity in Blitz is considered cheating. As this is the first official declaration by the studio that the alleged Blitz bots are considered cheating, we will not be permanently banning players retroactively. However, any player that uses the third-party software in question as of today, you will risk being banned from your account permanently. Thanks for your patience while we established a plan to move forward. Sounds great, right?
Sounds great, yes.
First things first, I kind of frustrated they gave all these people a pass. They basically profited for 9 months at least that we know of. Free pass. Congratulations. Enjoy your rewards for cheating.
Yes.
Then some of these players, Roy, kept on using the bots anyway, going, what are they going to do?
Right.
So what we've seen all over Discords in the last 24 hours and Reddit and everything is people going, oh, guy in my alliance uses BlueStacks and he was unfairly banned for 3 days. It's like, no. We all use Blitz bots. We all use Blitz bots. We all use emulators. We all use BlueStacks. We're all still here. Why? Because we're not using an auto script. Your friend was a cheating POS. Unfortunately, I hate to break it to you, my man.
Yep.
So yeah, I keep seeing this everywhere. She's like, "Oh, I got kicked, but I was using BlueStacks, but I didn't cheat. I promise." Okay, mate. All right, I've seen your name in top 100 in the Blitz recently, but okay, sure, why not?
I've seen that in so many games over the years when people get caught cheating. Oh yeah, they unfairly banned me, and then they finally break. Yeah, I was cheating.
Yeah, then all the evidence gets brought out. Now, what frustrates me more than this, though, is that they very clearly say here, permanently banned. All right?
Well, that's what they say. No, they said you might risk being permanently banned.
Well, that's a good point. They did the classic Fox next that they said both. They said, we won't be permanently banning players retroactively, but you're right. That they said, as of this date, you will risk your account being banned. You will risk being banned from your account permanently. So at the moment, they're only handing out 3-day bans. So even the people who profited for 9 months, they're still cheating after that announcement. And they've gone, oh, he's just a cheeky little lad. He deserves another chance. We believe in the people. Give him another chance, the little fella.
Right. Take this little slap on the wrist.
Ah,
come back and spin.
Yeah, go have a holiday. Come back, So that's a little bit frustrating as well. Because, when you bring out an announcement like that, the ban hammer should just fire on all cylinders. It really should.
Yep.
But look, let's face it. They knew who some of these players were. There was 2 content creators that were using it. There was some whales that were rubbing into people's faces that are relatively high profile. They had to do this whole, well, we're not going to ban anyone in the past because then we'd have to, upset some people that really kiss our butts on a regular basis. So What are you going to do? What are you going to do, mate? So look, good for the game as long as they stick to their guns, but I really hope they're permanently banned from here on out. Because if you know that your first warnings are free, how many people are going to give it a crack anyway? 3 days holiday from this game sounds great some days, right? All right, now let's talk about Chaos Theory, Roy. It is coming back for its 3rd iteration towards the end of this week, and now we can finally finish it.
Yes.
So that should mean we finish this event with enough to take a character to 1 to 6 and 1 to 5 from memory for the first time clear rewards, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, if you add up all the ones that we got from categories 1 through 5 last time. So that's good news for people that can finish that event for the first time. After that, I think in the future, this is going to be a real disappointing event.
Yes.
Yeah, because what are you getting each time? It's 18 of the silvers and then just 7 of the golds. So that is a long, long farm in the long run.
Yes, it is.
Yes. But look, it's progressing towards something, I guess. Who have you got your eye on for this? Like, I know obviously you're on your way to DD3 secondary finish. You've got Chaos Theory in the mix. Who is your next 6 or 7 upgrade?
I'm just going to be holding for now. Cole is who I'm looking at, but he needs to be farmable first because he's styling him at 4 yellow as it is. So no sense in using them right now. Maybe they'll come out with some other character, maybe even X23 I might end up spending them on. We'll have to see.
Sure. Yeah, I really just don't see anyone in the roster right now that I'm like, that guy's going to change the world for me right now. There's a lot of characters that, don't get me wrong, those stars that do great things. Like, I think I said this last week, the main guy I'm looking at there is like Thor. Like, he would make my Asgardian defense team amazing. But then it's like, well, where's the bang for buck for the rest of that investment? I'm not going to use him anywhere else outside of Blitz. And let's face it, normally I don't Blitz. So, yeah, there's so, and then I look at like Cull Obsidian. It's like, well, him at 6 would be pretty great, right? But again, like, I think there will be characters that replace him in Ultima 7 in the near future. We're already seeing different hybrid teams where you can sub him out on a lot of nodes. So, yeah, there's a lot of crazy little things that might come up in the game. And then all these talk of like, you know, next legendary and unique characters starting to come through because there's been so many leaks this week. So you have 2 content creators saying, you know, all these like puns and little hints about card games. It's like, well, that's Gambit, right?
Yeah. And
then we keep on hearing people saying, well, no. I think there was one guy saying that his leak from Inside Fox was saying that the 5th Marauder is being brought up, but it's not going to be Gambit. So everyone seems to keep saying it's either going to be Emma Frost or it's going to be Iceman. People keep saying, oh, it's going to be a chilly reception to the game. So it's like, okay, well, it's going to be Iceman. Just say it. Don't be an idiot. Yeah. If you're going to leak all the way, right? Don't cut the stream halfway off. That's going to hurt. So, and then what else do we hear in leaks? There was one of the Krakens who we know is on the test server that not even the content creators from Envoy are on, right? The super secret squirrel info that those boys get. He shared a screenshot, Roy, of him taking up Wasp to tier 12 and then posted out to his alliance, wink, wink, hint, hint. So people are suggesting there may be an Ant-Man Wasp rework because we know that Yellow Jacket has been coded in this game forever. So maybe there'll be a Tiny People rework or something. I don't know.
Oh, Ant-Man Wasp Arena meta. It's finally happening.
Oh, it's finally happening. Yeah. What's the bet? The content creators, they'll go, see, we told you we were just 2 years too early.
That's right. Well, that was with Dorian when he said about AIM. Yeah, AIM's going to be worth it.
I don't think he ever said that. I think it was he just basically saying, I don't care anymore. It was more Dorian.
It's like, I'm just taking it. I don't care.
That was more Dorian's, yeah, 100%. So look, I mean, who knows what's going to be coming? And then, of course, Dr. Octopus. I swear to God, I hear about him every other day. Everyone keeps saying you are going to need X-Force to unlock that. So I don't know what to believe. And then obviously there's rumors of more symbiotes. So, I mean, I think the symbiote team has so much damn potential, man. They're just missing a couple of key elements. And when they've got them, man, they'll be the raid team, right? It's not going to take much. They're pretty close now. Like, there's hybrids that work with them right now, but they're 99% of where they need to be. So, yeah, I'm just saving everything, man.
What about Beast with his healing potions?
Where is Beast? Beast is the new Star-Lord. He's the new Groot. He's
put him on
the
a
new Cyclops.
Milk carton. Have you seen me?
Have you seen this Beast? Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see, man. All right, let's talk about the things that are coming up in the next week, Roy. We have a new login calendar because we will be into July. Do you reckon they'll give anything for 4th of July? My bet's you'll get, like, I don't know, 4 Captain America shards or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's usually pretty lame. I think he has a blitz on the 4th of July too coming up. So there is that. All right, so we are going to be seeing a new calendar, and in that calendar, there's going to be cable shards, because we all need that. Gold orb fragments, gear, ability materials, and then we have chimichangas, which we're going to talk about at the end of the news section, why that's important. Now, talk about a blast from the past, Roy. The Merc with a Mouth event is coming back for some people. Do you remember that?
Way back when.
Man, that was so early in the piece. I remember the writing of that event was probably one of the better ones that they did. Like that and the Deadpool raid were probably some of the better work, where they had like comedic things that were closer to landing than some of the things they've tried recently. That was a fun campaign, but it doesn't sound like you and I or late game players will be able to play it.
Yeah, it'll just be like the Thanos one, only pop up if you still have to finish it.
Yeah, so if you haven't completed all the Deadpool missions before, then yeah, you'll be able to go through and do those missions. It doesn't say how long it's staying for though, Roy. That's the part I'm curious about. Like, are these guys going to be getting these shards for several weeks? Are these guys just getting it for like one day because they've done those sort of events before?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it could be free Ultimates for a lot of people. But again, just rewarding the newer folks, which again, catch-up mechanics are really good. But, I mean, can we have something for the endgame players, please? Please. Please. All right, so 10 for 10 is coming back as well. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with that, every now and again they do deals where you spend 10 cores and you get 10 of something. So they're going to be having, during the Fun in the Sun event, you'll be able to get gold, gear, character shards, training modules, or even energy for that as well. So 10 energy doesn't even really feel like 10 cores.
Well, I think they give you like 10 energy and like 10 like blitz credits, so it's like
is that right?
Well, that's not even worth 10 cores.
Maybe not so bad. Now, on top of that, there's also going to be a couple of little mini events, like one days here and there. So the quarter blitz will be back again, where you can just keep going through your charges as much as you want, capped at 25 per team. I'm guessing that's not going to be during the X23 blitzes. I mean, let's hope not, because that could be crazy for the whales. Energy overload, which is when you do a refresh using cores, instead of getting an extra 120 campaign energy, you'll get 240. That's actually not too bad at all.
Yeah, those are always nice.
Absolutely. Raining gold, so you get double gold on your campaign nodes. Now, this one's new, but I do like it. So the Catalyst Cataclysm. So during this event, for a limited time, you will earn 3 times the basic catalysts from certain campaign missions. So they've got the ABCs, the improved basic catalysts, and the superior basic catalysts available for triple rewards. So I think for a lot of people that are on the cusp of DD3 or just finished it and they've burnt through all their oranges, this is actually not a bad day to farm your behind off.
Yeah, but as everybody loves to say, 3 times 0 is still 0. So
that's true.
Hopefully you get the luck when you do that.
That's true.
It's a notoriously bad drop rate on those as it is. So
yeah,
I hope it works out for people.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that pulls out. Now, this one's really good news for you especially, because I know that obviously you've wanted to gear up this team for a long time now, is that we have a new character coming, because it's going to be the first Wednesday of the month, and we will have Toad joining the Blitz store, Roy.
Yes, it's very nice, but give me that blob. Give me that blob.
Yeah, I mean, at least you've got him farmed, so that way he's ready for that blob when blob's time comes around.
Yeah, I might promote Toad some Red Star-wise, because that team is pretty nasty as it is with how low it is right now. It's like I can take a pretty even matchup against a Coulson team now with that. So it's pretty nice. So if I get that team up, it's like I'll be able to take on pretty much any Coulson team.
With your blob, though, do you really need to? He's going to carry that show all by himself.
Well, I mean, you really need the focus on Toad, though, to remove those... immunity or whatever.
True.
Because if you don't do that, then they can get you.
Yeah. So that's definitely a good addition. Have you finished farming Strife in that store?
I have not. I do not farm any characters through there. I just get them from drops.
I hadn't been either, but there's a good opportunity for you and I to try and get some free shards there, which we'll talk about the final piece of the news coming up shortly. So that's not too bad. Invisible Woman's event is coming back again this month as well. So make sure that you get those Sinister Six guys up as high as you can, because she is a good character. She's so close to great that it's just not funny. She's just a little bit too slow. She's so close to being great, Roy.
Yep.
But not quite. All right. Now, we'll also have Heimdall coming up in an upcoming Blitz. We're going to have X-23, 2 of her Blitzes. And then we also have Captain America being featured in a Blitz. I think a lot of people will be skipping that one. And then they're going to do a special quarter Blitz of the Red Star Orb Blitz. So during those, that's where they're going to cap that as well, mate. So that way people are going to be able to go crazy high on those orbs for some reason.
Well, it's actually very good. They're doing Captain America Blitz on July 4th, so all the Americans that want to celebrate with their family and stuff like that, they don't have to worry about blitzing.
Man, what does that look like for you guys this year? Like, a barbecue is going to be allowed? I mean, because what are we? We're only a couple of days away now, really. And you guys are like spiking in quite a few states where I imagine I can't see Texans going, you guys have to stay home on the 4th of July. I have a feeling the word freedom is going to be used a lot, and people are going to go out and do whatever they want.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Well, I mean, these idiots have been shooting off fireworks all hours of the night for the past 2 weeks, and I see that's been happening all over the country, so I'm sure that'll be nonstop for like 7 straight hours. So I won't be getting to bed anytime early that night.
Well, good news for you. You can blitz for Cat, buddy. You got something to do now.
No, I'm good. I'll do anything. Hey, dude, now I have 5 months of Xbox Game Pass on PC.
Nice.
So I'm good on that. So I'll be playing that.
What's,
I have to figure out
what's on your list to play up front?
I don't know. I was looking at so many games. Like, I want to play that. I want to play that. It's like I probably want to play Final Fantasy 9, but that might just be more nostalgia because I remember I loved it when I played it back in the day. But there's so many good ones on there that I haven't played. So Outer Worlds, I think. Yeah.
I think you'd enjoy Outer Worlds more than you'll enjoy Outer Wilds. They're both on there, but I think play Outer Worlds. That game is real good.
I'm gonna do that. I need to play. God, I could go back and play the Halos. I could play the what is that other one that you like so much? The shooter, but it's third person.
Gears of War?
Yeah, all the Gears of War. I need to play all those. I could reminisce about the Age of Empires, play those 2 on there.
I saw those,
the definitive edition on that. So all kinds of games. So
but you can play Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft Dungeons.
I loaded up. Oh man, I loaded up because it was free, right? I loaded up Minecraft Dungeons 2 days ago. I lasted, I reckon, about 2 minutes.
Wow. Yeah,
I spent more time. I don't think I can say that. I was gonna make a crack about my virginity. I bounced off that hard, like, because I know that like games, it shouldn't be all about the graphics. But there's something about that it's almost too lo-fi, that it's not adorable. It's just frustrating.
That's how I've always felt about Minecraft. It's like I just can't get into it because of the graphics. They're just too bad.
It's like, why would you go back and play Wolfenstein 3D when you could play Wolfenstein New Colossus? Like, come on. They're not even close to the same game. Like, the new one is better because it's just sexy as hell. It's amazing.
Yep. Oh, plus there's Streets of Rage 4. I'm going to play that because
I just downloaded that yesterday. It's so old school, man. Yeah. Is that multiplayer? We should rip that up.
I think so, yeah. You can check it out.
Oh, my God. Side-scrolling for the win.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that game looks awesome, man. All right, last big news story of the week. Now, I know this excites you because I know the type of Marvel Strike Force player that you are. This is what you train for. This is what your little hoarding Rocky montage is all about, week to week. So Roy is getting ready, folks, for the Fun in the Sun event. So their description of this is going to soak up character shards, Elite 4 and 5 credits, purple and orange basic catalysts, and other blistering rewards. The event revolves around the limited time firework orbs and special chimichangas. Here's how you can shine during this event. And the first part sounds very familiar to what we just did this week. Earn chimichangas via blitz battles, campaign nodes, and daily objectives. Then use those to open firework orbs in the store for orange, purple, and blue gear rewards. Now, when I hear orange, purple, and blue gear rewards, that doesn't excite me, Roy.
Nor does it me.
Yeah, so when it says that like you can get character shards, elite 4 and 5 credits, purple and orange basics, I have to assume that there's like milestones that if you go real deep, that's where they're going to live.
Oh yeah, it's going to be backloaded as hell.
Yeah, here we go. So it's called the Firework Frenzy milestone. So use Chimichangas to open any of the limited time firework orbs to score points and earn gear credits, elite credits, orange gear, a 3 red star Deadpool, a 5 red star cable, character shards, and gold orb fragments. Here's the good news for you, Roy. The part that I know you're so pumped about, right? Now, do me a favor. Let's go through one by one here about how far you've actually hoarded already, because I have no doubt in my mind it's going to be big. So the
Not
first
as big
thing
as it should be, because I've blown through a lot of orbs. Gearing up my X-Force.
I definitely got too trigger happy last week with my mega orbs. I saw Cull Obsidian was in the mega orbs. I was like, I could not click that button fast enough.
Same, and I got Jack on it.
Me too. I got like, I think, dupe, and then like 50 strife. I was like,
Yo.
All right, so the first thing you can open for some of these points, so this is an orb opening event, folks, so the hoarders shine during these. So how many premium orbs are you sitting on?
Only 2, but I still have the Blitz to do today, so I'll have about maybe 8.
Nice. So I'm sitting on 24. Again, I blew some of mine a few weeks back. Gold orbs is a good one.
Oh, gold orbs. I'm at 13 of those now because I'm blowing through DD3 Cosmic on my second run now.
Nice. I'm sitting at 60 of those. 60?
60, dude.
Yes. Now, we all know that mega orbs are going to score real high, though. So I've got none of those. How are you tracking there?
Just 1.
Yeah, I think all of us got pretty excited when we saw Black Order going in there. And they removed Ant-Man, which I think was kind of the sign we've all been waiting for. They're like, I'm not opening it if Ant-Man's in there.
Yeah, because I got him a couple weeks ago in that.
Didn't we all? Didn't we all? That's just how that works,
Yep.
right? All right, then we've got the blue Gear Raid orbs. You must be sitting pretty right there.
Yeah, I did have to open a few of those. I have 244.
Nice. Yeah, you beat me there. I'm 196. Purple Gear Raid orbs.
I opened all of those before. I only have 17 now.
How does 412 sound?
Holy crap. Well, you haven't been gearing up X-Force. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's... Oh, man, I've saved a lot. You have no idea. Orange Gear Raid orbs.
50 of those.
I got 121. I'm a little bit angry that the elite orbs aren't on this list.
Yeah, they weren't last time either, so that doesn't surprise me.
Okay, well, maybe I'll just start opening them, though, I guess. All right, fair enough.
I would wait. Who knows? They might be different. They might have...
Well, that's it. I don't need them right now. When was the last time that you and I had to farm like specifically through those orbs trying to get like a standard unique piece? I'm sure there'll be like a... the new characters that come out will add another unique to that mix. But yeah. Who knows? Now, these ones, I don't know if they were in there last time. Like the Gear War Orbs.
I think they might have been, but we had been opening them all
I don't think anyone was saving those. But since I finished DD3, I actually did stop spending those. So I've got about 12 of those Orange Gear War Orbs I can open day one.
Jeez, I'm at 39.50, so almost 4.
Oh, you'll have a few up your sleeve before that starts. Well, it depends on when it starts, because we don't have a date. I mean, Negasonic's out tomorrow, so is it tomorrow? Actually, where is the other milestones? Does everything finish? No, so she finishes tomorrow, and then there's, another 2 days, 6 hours for World Warrior. So I imagine it finishes after that.
I mean, we never know, because sometimes they start at mid-thing on that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I want the symbiote Spider-Man to come back, as do many, many other people.
Oh, man, when is that due now? It's been delayed at least 3 times.
Yeah, they haven't said on that one. You missed, or did they say Red Star Orbs?
There's no Red Star Orbs in that calendar. So that's really, really odd. There is one last one, though, and that is Blitz Orbs.
Oh, yeah. Okay, on those I have 30 of those, and then I have 33,000 currency, so...
Oh, nice. So currency I'm screwed on, because I was, like, deliberately farming... Well, I had 2 problems. One, I don't blitz, so just by maintaining enough war currency has been a problem for me for a while. And then, I was trying to sort of slowly get strife up as well, so that's been problematic. But in saying that, I am sitting on 216 blitz orbs.
Oh, very nice. Wow,
Yeah, so
they don't have red star orbs in there. I'm actually shocked that they don't have that in there.
well, I guess they know that people are going to open a ton of those for X23 anyway, right? So, whereas for me, like including Blitz Orbs is great because I'm going to open all those trying to get Strife finished and just trying to get as many for Toad as I can because I completely missed his event. Like, what did I finish up with Toad? I bought nothing and I missed his event. So he's only at, 3 stars for me. He's really low.
Yeah. Yeah, but you'd think they'd have it in there so people buy the red star offers more.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I guess you get enough out of reds anyway these days. So look, it's going to be an interesting little event. I have no doubt in my mind that I don't think it's going to scale well. Like, I think if I could open those hundreds that we just talked about, and I have no doubt in my mind, it's not going to get me halfway through the calendar.
Yep.
Yeah, I might even do that on stream. I always hate the idea of that though, because I've said it 1,000 times. I never want to be seen to reinforce gambling behavior. But at the same time, sometimes a reminder of just how terrible the odds of these friggin' things are is good for the peeps. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the people want.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to that event. I mean, hoarding events are always good because you and I have said if you can get free stuff for things you were going to do in the game anyway, those are the bestest of the restest.
Yes. Another puzzling omission from that is Ultimus Orb. So it is nice, though, because we get to save up that currency for the store if they bring that out.
Well, if they had been on there, that was 100% something I was going to throw a disclaimer at anyway, is that we know that store exists because of the Foxnax screw-up where they put it coded into the game. Do not, folks, do not open any Ultimus Orbs for the foreseeable future. Doesn't matter if you're a new player, an endgame player, just stop for now. You can always open them in one big batch if we're wrong, but it seems like you want to save that for targeted progression. I have no doubt, Roy, the conversion rate is going to suck harder than what we've already seen in the Alliance currency. And just yet another reminder on that PSA, folks, don't use that currency either, right? I'm getting more and more convinced that a level cap is coming somewhere in the next probably 6 months.
It's good training for hoarding for the future by starting with Ultimus. Then you can branch out to other things.
Well, look, with me shifting more towards free-to-play and with you going sort of a little bit more in the casual direction, like, I mean, when we can capitalize on doing that and it doesn't cost us any money or extra time, like, it's perfect. And they seem to do it about twice a year. Like, it's almost like it's literally the middle of the year, right? It's time, it's due. So we do that and then we'll do it again for another 6 months.
Yep.
Yeah, and normally it's after a big team too, or where they're just like, all right, they've used a lot, let's clean them out entirely. Then we'll go, right? So Black Order's just been, here we are again. So, good.
Well, I mean, having Black Order and everything, like, I'm pretty much set in like everywhere in the game, so it's like I can just hoard like crazy now.
I'm kind of the same boat, and that's how I've always played the game, right? And I know you have as well. Is that once you get to that point where everything is usable and you can do everything that you need to in the game with your raid teams, with your war teams, like I could have way better war offense teams, I could have way better war defense teams, but how much of a difference that makes to my alliance right now is so minuscule, it's not funny. But if I can get the next, massive raid character and then carry these guys for, not that I'll be carrying anyone in this alliance, you're just full of rock stars now. Oh my God, all the big boys in one house. It's nuts.
You're the little fish now.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going
it's pretty crazy. All right, shall we head into our questions from Discord, mate?
Yes.
All right, good stuff. So we start off with our Patreon questions because, of course, we do, folks. Capitalism is a thing, and we have to support those that support us first. Plus, we love these guys. They absolutely keep us here every single week. Grimnos' first question. Do you feel the need to put disclaimers up before every thought is spoken on the pod? I feel like I know what this is about. So we only do one disclaimer, and that's for gambling, of course.
Yes.
But, yeah, it's been a big week for considering one's words before opening one's mouth. Let's say that.
Yes. That's a nice way of putting it.
If that's as much as we get away with saying that, I have not pre-read the questions. There's no way we're getting away with it this week. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, Bloodwalker with Negasonic Teenage Warhead being the new hotness. That's a big call. What do you think of Monster Magnet's music? The character's name is taken from their song Negasonic Teenage Warhead, link to the song. I mean, I heard this back in the day. It was always okay. It wasn't my favorite song in the world. What about you?
Yeah, pretty much the same. Like, oh yeah, that's cool, but like nothing. It's like not my favorite band now. So, but yeah, they're all right back in the day. Are they even
very
still
sort of
together?
Like 80s glam rocky. Are they?
I don't know.
I have no
heard
idea.
from them, so
No idea. All right, Jackie246. Now, Jackie246 has been mentioning a lot of things where I always thought I had a pretty good memory, but it turns out with these podcasts, no. Because he's going back and listening to all of our old podcasts in order, and then he's writing questions based on that, going, hey, you guys said that this is a thing. You guys said that's a thing. I'm like, wait, really? I don't remember that discussion.
doing his homework.
Yeah. All right, so he says, call back to a really old question from one of the Patreons. Go through the top 3 rows of your roster by power and try to offset whatever favorites you have. Which character would you be willing to delete from the game out of each row? I don't remember that question.
I vaguely remember that, but it's so changed now.
Yeah, who are we willing to do? So the top row for me is Thanos, Black Bolt, Hela, Venom, Moore. I mean, that's not even a competition. Like, I love Venom, but he would be the first one to go.
Yep.
What about
Mine
you?
is Thanos, Fury, Carnage, Black Bolt, Phoenix. They're all over 100K. Wow, that's tough, man. Like, those 5 are like pretty much my favorite to use.
But if Fury wasn't 7 Reds, would he be on that list for you? That's the question. Like, him as the character, he's weirdly probably the disposable one.
Yeah, probably. It's like I still use them so much, like in raids and stuff, and even DD3. But yeah, I guess he's the one to go, just because future potential. Carnage is huge. Black Bolt is always going to be huge. Phoenix is always going to be amazing, and Thanos is dominating everything. So yeah, I guess Fury's got to go.
All right, next row for me is Fury, Symbiote, Corvus, Phoenix, Colossus. So if it was deleted from the game, meaning it was replaced by something else, Corvus is definitely the one that has to go. If that means that Black Order can't be a thing, then yeah, unfortunately it's going to be Fury for me there too.
Yeah. Not Colossus?
No, man, I love Colossus. Man, the amount of damage that a fully charged, offensed up Colossus does just by people trying to punch him is stupid. I couldn't even imagine how much damage he floods out at 7 red stars on defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the utility of Colossus with Phoenix. If Phoenix wasn't in the game, maybe not, but she is. So.
All right, so my next row is, I have to offset the favorites here. Okay, so Vulture, Thor, Symbiote Spider-Man, Ebony Maw, and Invisible Woman. Probably, even though I have fun with him, he's not top tier as Vulture. Even though I try to, he's kind of like Black Panther for me. It's like I try to use him as much as I can, but he's just not top tier. But I still have fun with him.
So what's been really funny, because I said to you that I wish that I didn't just get impatient and take that Vulture to T14 just for DD3, right?
Yeah.
Every war since I did it, I've had one defensive win with Sinister Six.
Nice.
Yeah, because they look at it and they go, oh, it's a relatively low CP team, but I think a lot of them just don't see there's a T14 Vulture sitting right in the middle of it. And I think they just throw in way too low an average team, and it just pumps them out of the gate.
Yeah, if you leave that Vulture up, he gets his ult off, removes 50% speed bar. Is it 50% speed bar? Maybe it's 25.
Yeah, I think it's only 25%.
Yeah,
and I think
25.
buffed it might be 30. Like, it's not crazy high.
But still, and if your guys keep dying, if you have like summons that die and then he keeps getting turns, he can get real nasty real fast.
Yeah, and even if they do target him, if it takes a little bit longer to do that and the other guys get to go off, like, that's enough if someone underestimates it. So that's been pretty good. All right, third and final row, I have Sinister, Cull Obsidian, Proxima Midnight, Minerva, and Carnage. See, for me, I'd say Proxima Midnight has been the least useful out of all those. She wasn't at the start, though. It's just that Moore has made her so redundant. That it'd have to be her or, sadly, Sinister. Because like you said, Carnage now has too much potential in this game, especially if they make more node-dependent things. Because you need to have symbiotes for City. Like, it's just not an option these days.
Yep.
What about you, man?
All right, so my last row is, I'll make sure I got the things here, Sinister, Star-Lord, Rhino, Loki, Hela. So, yeah, Rhino. Sorry, big fatty Rhino, you gotta go. You just don't get used at all.
All right, so there's an oldie but a goldie, apparently, with that question.
Yes.
Another one from him as well. So he says, once upon a time, in episode 23 or 24 specifically, we talked about our favorite video game music. Have our taste changed? Do you have more suggestions? I listened to the Bioshock Infinite trailer song, and it was great. That is actually a great song. It's called Beast by Nico Vega. It was also Rod Stewart. So there's some great crossover there. I have a really soft spot for the raid on Digistruck Peak from Borderlands 2. Too many memories while I was high or drunk, sad and jovial. I would say my tastes haven't changed too much. I will say that the theme... a lot of the music that's in the video game Control, which came out last year, is amazingly good. Unfortunately, for the videos I try to do on that game, also heavily copyrighted, Roy. That even though it's in the game, right, because there's this amazing scene in that game that feels like you're playing Inception, which is awesome, right?
Yeah.
But to start it, so she doesn't go crazy, she puts on the headphones that are playing that music, and yeah, it didn't even make it through the upload before it got flagged for copyright. And I was like, how? Like, I didn't load that song in there. It's just there, dude. And yeah, just all the algorithms procced. And yeah, so that video never made it out of private mode.
Yeah, it sucks that they automatically detect that stuff.
Yeah, well, it was one band in particular that had that one song. So unfortunately, if you want to hear that song, there's a very good chance you're going to have to play that game on that level to hear it. Because otherwise, I dare say you're not going to get anything.
Yep.
What about you, mate?
Pretty much the same thing. There's nothing that really sticks out in my mind. So we did make the music channel that he talks about finally. So we have that on the Discord now where people can post their favorites. I posted two of my old favorites, the Dead Island trailer and the Secret World launch trailer. I love the music on both of those.
I think I probably said this in that episode as well, is that I'd never heard the song Rusty Cage before by Johnny Cash.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of the Soundgarden one.
Oh, I mean, Soundgarden's a great cover, don't get me wrong. But if you go back to the trailer for a game called Prey 2, now, a lot of people don't realize, because there was an amazing game called Prey a couple of years ago, that they completely redid that series. There was originally a sequel to another game that was on, I think it was a Nintendo 64. It might even be that age. And a great game, too. They were supposed to do the sequel to that. And it's easily one of my favorite video game trailers ever. If you haven't watched this video, folks, do yourself a favor. Look up Prey 2. And it has a really great cut of Rusty Cage by Johnny Cash. And it is a sensational trailer. And that song is still now on my iPhone because of that trailer.
Nice.
Whether it would have been in the end game, I don't know. There's been a lot of really good... you've probably seen this as well, like in movies in the last couple of years, mate, where they like take a popular pop song and they slow it right down to be almost kind of like depressing or like powerful operatic type thing. Like it's been a real thing for a while. I think it was one of the Call of Duties or Battlefields a couple of years ago. They did that with Seven Nation Army, and then they threw a bit of dubstep over the top of it. That was pretty good. And then there was a great rendition of Crazy Train, which they did on, again, I think it was one of the CODs in the last couple of years, by Black Sabbath. So
nice.
yeah, there's been some just amazing covers and reworks that they've done. So that's been pretty good.
I just thought of something funny, a little off topic, but we were talking about Uwe Boll movies in the Patreon chat last week.
Yeah.
I threw the House of the Dead trailer. They had the DMX like, yo, go make me lose my mind.
Yeah.
I always laughed at that trailer. It is so hard to find that trailer. Like, you can find the other trailers for it, but the one with that song in it is so hard to find on the internet. I don't think I've been able to. I've looked a couple times. It was always hilarious because it's like, this is so cheesy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man. There's been some really bad trailers over the years, let's face it. All right, Headshot. So I found myself in a strange space earlier. There was not one person streaming Marvel Strike Force. That is actually a rare feat in this day and age. Since COVID started, I think like the amount of people streaming this game is like maybe tripled, quadrupled. Crazy.
Yep.
Came across some dude called Asmongold playing WoW. Do you know this guy, Ray?
I saw him a couple times on there when I was on Twitch.
Yeah.
Don't know much about him.
He's the biggest of the big boys. I've seen a fair bit of his content. So I did a little bit of research on this cookie cutter pedo-looking guy to discover he earns well over $550,000 a year off subs. Does this surprise you? Personally, I've never seen anything WoW-related other than his stream, so I'm baffled as to why he's gotten so much success. I will say this. Asmongold is probably not the greatest of the WoW streamers, but he's been, I suppose, the most consistent at what he does with that game. Because what's quite funny watching him, man, is that he rages quite often. Because when people realize that he's streaming, of course, you just log into his server and just mess with him. It's called stream sniping. It's pretty great to watch. Just watching him just get camped and like people just dancing on his corpse. And he's like, well, maybe if I run behind this pole, I can resurrect. You're like, it's so funny. It's so funny. So, and I've never really thought about that, like as a streamer, that when you get to a certain level of celebrity, especially if you're selling yourself as someone who is the best at that game. Like, I've never been that guy where I'm like, okay, I'm streaming because I'm the best. Anyone that watched me play Halo will know I am not the best at first-person shooters, 100%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he's certainly good at what he does, but he gets involved in a lot of the controversy stuff. So, like, whenever there's any, like, WoW controversy, he covers that news and he gives, like, his hot takes. So, he's kind of that guy. That's how he's gotten so big. He's more one of those, guys that pops up in the headlines quite a bit and talks crap about other alliances. So, there's, like, alliance versus alliance, hatred, all that sort of stuff. So, and then, yeah, one of the biggest streamers in the world got his account banned on Twitch in the last couple of days, and everyone's trying to figure out why.
I saw that it might be that there's some new streaming thing coming out, so he might. And
he got caught trying to poach people and breaking NDA. Yeah, so that sounds interesting.
Yeah, but I think the reason why the Asmongold and a lot of other ones, it's all about being consistent and being entertaining. You don't have to be the best at the game, like you said.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people want to tune in, but they'll tune in for something that makes them laugh. That's there every day, so they'll definitely do that. So that's the way to.
He's definitely successful. Playing that character. Like he plays that sort of salty, like overreacting when things get don't go his way type thing. Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
People love salty Jews, so people love the salt. I've seen so many people like, I love salty Jew.
That's it, man. I look forward to retiring that character. All right, Honeycombs. Considering the interesting names for deodorant out there, if they actually did or were what they're named, what would you pick? Personally, I would go with Old Spice Cracked Guard. I'd have to go with Axe, for sure. Axe body spray. I mean, if you could literally just double it as an Axe. Because it's not called that in Australia. It's called Lynx. We had the same terrible ads that you guys did. Where teenage boys were like, oh man, I'm going to lose my virginity if I buy this.
They'll be all over me.
Oh my God. That's it. We didn't get those Carl's Jr. ads that you guys got. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't even look at really deodorant. I just use Degree all the time. So it's like I don't look at all the weird names and stuff. So.
Well, maybe Degree gets you a degree in a certain field. Maybe that's what it does.
There you go. Look, I have a degree.
Certified genius. All right, Lazy James. As previous WoW players, what's this theme this week? Where do the WoW questions come from? As previous WoW players, what was your main and when did you start and finish playing? My main was an Orc Hunter, started with Lich King and ended in Mists of Pandaria. What about you, Rory?
I had several different mains because I started like right at release. I played the beta, but then my freaking circle of friends like, oh, let's play EverQuest 2 instead. I'm like, yeah. So that was a train wreck. And then we finally got on WoW. One of my favorite mains was a Tauren warrior named Beef Bum.
Nice.
And then later on, my main was a Goblin hunter, just so I could farm and make gold. Because I quit after Burning Crusade and then came back later on, like at Cataclysm, I think, and started up the Goblin Hunter.
Right. So my first main, I won't go through all my mains because every X pack I deliberately pick a new main because that's just what I wanted to do. My first one was Dwarf Priest, and I joined around the time the Blackwing Lair started. So I was there the first time my alliance cleared Molten Core, which was a big deal. Blackwing Lair, I think we just finished that when I think it was Nax Ramus came out. We messed around that for a bit, and I think I bailed for a little while when Ankaraj came out. But I've gone back for every expansion since. But I normally only make it up until sort of like this first or second patch. There's something about that game that the repetitive nature of it, once you sort of get to a certain gear threshold, you're just trying to grind out that last 5 to 15%, doesn't interest me. And I go, all right, I'll see you guys in the last patch before the next expansion. Peace. And that's it. That's what I do every time. So, yeah, except for BFA, dude, I bounced off that. I got to max level, did a bunch of raids. I was like, this is just not fun, man. So that game needs a bit of an overhaul. As far as names go, I can't remember half of mine. I know that, at one stage I just played like a lot of Tauren characters I started making, and because they were all like cows, I just started naming them like the McWarrior and stuff like that. Nice. Which I can't believe no one had taken. It was great.
Yep.
All right, Irish Avenger, is there anyone when you're playing the game and you do their ultimate move when you hear the voice of the movie character saying their line? For example, anytime I kill Spider-Man with Captain Marvel, I can just hear her say, "Hi there, Peter Parker from Endgame." Good question.
I snap when I do the ultimate with Thanos and he kills everyone.
Oh, really? I don't think I do any of the lines in my head when that finishes. Maybe like back in the day when I used to use Deadpool a fair bit, I might have like accidentally quoted his a couple times, but not really, to be honest. All right, Calvin, he asks, if you had a body switch like Freaky Friday for 24 hours, what would we each do? So if you're in my body for 24 hours, Rory, what would you do?
God. Blob cosplay.
I thought you did that.
I don't know, man.
I would probably, since you've made that comment, I would probably go to your church and do like all kinds of like really racist stuff. And then right before the switchback, probably let's like dump like half a kilo of laxatives and then just switch back. And just leave that for future Roy to enjoy.
I'd use up all your resources in game and
promote
T4, Ravager Stitcher.
T4 Nebula, Max Nebula, yeah.
It's T4 everything on Stitcher.
That's not a bad one. All right, Commander Iceman. Finally done it and I decided to step back from the game. Having dropped competitive whale, Kraken, spend it a casual free-to-play. What should I do with all my extra money? Man, if you were Krakening, buy a house maybe?
Buy an island?
Yeah. Well, I know that Della, or Hulked Out Heroes, who also has done the same thing, he put a bunch of money in the stock market, and so apparently he's become quite profitable. So he's actually made more money since he stopped Strikeforce spending.
Nice.
What did you do? I mean, get back into like proper gaming, man. Like it's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy, man. Crazy. All right, Bloodwalker. Does the cookie cutter nature of arena defense speak more of A, unimaginable players, poor character design variety, poorly designed game mode? I think it's D, all the above, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's like you can only do so much. It's like you can try to be creative, but I mean, you got to use what works best or you're just going to drop like crazy. So you can't really be imaginable that much with how they've designed it.
Yeah. And then he said, I just realized I've been lied on the fat shaming with you. So how big is your blob? Is he even leveled? No, he's actually right at the bottom. He's, I think, third lowest on my whole list here. So he is 67 of 80 with a massive power score of 287. Boom.
He's so nice. Mine's at 65, 41,000. He does quite well.
Well, if I had that many red stars, I'd take him up too. All right. Headshot says, saw a post on Reddit with the idea that tickled my fancy. Update Iron Man skin so that when he enters battle, he appears as Tony Stark. Then double taps his chest. His nanotech suit comes out from the scene from Endgame when he's with Strange, Wong, and Banner. Do you ever see Iron Man getting some love? I would love to see that happen, man. I really would. I just love there to be like different suits now. I don't think you need to rework that Iron Man. I think we're at the point now where you can just start adding in random power armors, and then people can mess around with different power armor synergies. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, that's what they're most likely to do. They probably won't touch the old one, but I mean, there's, like you said, there's all kinds of suits they can do. Like pretty much every other Marvel game, there's like 3 to 10 different Iron Man variations they do.
Yeah.
So
it's always like Mark 3. It's always Mark 3, Hulkbuster, Mark 6, and then probably Extremis suit. They're the most common. In fact, I think there's 2 other mobile games that have all of those already.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few Iron Patriots kicking around now too in some of those games. Because which suit is he wearing in this game? I haven't actually looked at him for a while. Where are you, Iron Man? I think it's the Mark III by the looks of it. Yeah, he's still got the circular piece. He's got the old bulkier armor. I think he's wearing the old Mark III piece, yeah. Good job. All right, Dracul, list your F, marry, kill of the MSF content creators. Well, it's pretty easy to go for the kill this week. I mean, he kind of put himself on the list, didn't he?
Yep.
I mean, he who none of us can talk about anymore will fill that slot pretty comfortably. For Mary and F, who are the content creators at the moment? I mean, probably I'd say Ashi Pastrami would be the F, man, because you got to ride that mustache. 100%. As far as Mary goes, that's a big commitment to another streamer. Maybe Remenex. That way we can rub beards together and create our own weather system with static electricity.
And bellies.
Yeah, man. We would be the ultimate bear couple of Marvel Strike Force. We can start shipping that. I look forward to your, what do you call it? Fan art.
Bear squared.
Yeah, just go onto Remenex's stream and just randomly start just spilling out random bear facts.
Like,
don't tell him why. Don't tell him why. He doesn't listen to this, so don't tell him why.
Yes.
And then he talked to me. He sent me a message going, "The weirdest thing has happened to me right now."
Oh, well, I can't imagine why that happened. That is weird.
Do you give off that vibe, or what's the story? All right, Spartan 34. Sorry, do you want to finish yours first? Do you want to do yours?
I'm good.
Are you sure?
There's no QT path, so I'll just go with the kill.
All right, Spartan
There's
34.
No QT 3.14.
Current Ultimate 7 team is Minerva, Moore, Thanos, BB, and Ultron. Who do you think result in a better raid performance if they were taken from 6 to 7 reds? Thanos or Black Bolt? Jeez, that's a good question at the moment. I'd almost say Thanos, to be honest.
I mean, if he's tanking fine at 6 for you, then I'd go with Black Bolt. Just to, I mean, if you can kill faster, that's always better.
Yeah, I mean, there's 5th characters you can put in that can do that. Because remember that with him having Ultron, his BB is already going to have offense up. So, I mean, we're talking, whereas with Thanos, man, there's definitely a couple of nodes where I'm like, if he lasted one more turn, even with the defense up and death proofs, that'd be the difference between you team wiping or not. I do think it might be him. Plus, if he's harder to kill like that, when it comes to his... Actually, no, I take it back. Because I think if you're talking about like D5 type thing, at that point, it doesn't matter whether he had a 7 red star, T14, anything. It's going to die. So, yeah, maybe the Black Bolt, actually, for the damage output. For I'd say up until about 4, probably Thanos. For, above 4, I'd say it's probably Black Bolt. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Danelle, thinking about extremely difficult but theoretical possible fights. What kind of punch down would Hand need to defeat Black Order in the reactor? Oh, God. In reactor?
300k.
Yeah.
I guess it would depend on what power the Black Order. Like, if the Black Order is like 100k, you don't need as much. But if they're like at 300, I don't even think you could do it with a 300k. They would just still annihilate you.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter. I just don't think that team beats that team in its current format. I mean, you'd have to get really lucky, and Nobu would just have to revive everyone repeatedly without fail for probably 7 rotations. Just because, that Thanos basic damage was too much.
That is the grand challenge to our listeners. If you can win an Alliance War fight with Hand against Black Order, we will give you a shout out.
Yeah, I want video proof though, because I will not buy it otherwise. All right, back to our standard on-air questions now. So, General Galvatron, you get to bring one character from outside of Marvel into the game. Who is it, and how does that work? It's Batman. I don't know why we're debating this. Yeah, I'd say Batman. And just, I'd love him to have some kind of really big counter mechanic, or almost like he has like a passive, something like prep time that, if he has like 2-3 turns or something, that he can completely negate the next incoming attack or something like that. Some sort of thing that goes to his ability to outthink his opponent. I think that'd be some kind of cool mechanic to bring in. Yeah.
I'd go with Spawn because I always thought he was really cool.
Spawn. What is he? Is he DC or is he completely
he's
separate altogether?
Image Comics.
Which one is he?
Image Comics.
Oh, he's Image Comics. Yeah, no, Spawn's pretty rad too, actually. Yeah, I'd love to see him.
Yeah. Todd McFarlane.
All right. So it's less of a question, I guess, but we know where this is headed. So BC Discman. It literally says, casino. ... Look, I said my piece on my Twitch stream this week. I'll say something quickly in a sec, but no one's really heard from you on this one, mate. Why don't you go first?
I can keep it short and sweet. I told you so. I mean, it's like I've always struggled trying to explain myself when I can tell something about a person, when I can tell what kind of person they are. It's like I can't get it across correctly in words. But yeah, it's like I've always thought he was a less than good person. So I think he pretty much proved that beyond a shadow of a doubt with his past actions that just happened here.
It's been disappointing to watch. That story was just coming out when we were recording last week. And to those of you that basically started sending us message like science is compliance, no, we recorded this before that news really broke. So, we weren't ignoring what happened.
I thought you said science is compliance. I was like, what?
No, silence is compliance. There's a few people that accused us of not commenting on it on there as us basically saying it was okay. So,
I'm not surprised whatsoever. And if people were trying to accuse me of that, of being so, it's like you haven't listened to much of what I've done because I've said all along. It's like I'm not a fan of him whatsoever, and I don't. I tried to keep it lower when doing this because of you and him, your relationship with him. But I mean, yeah, it's like sometimes I couldn't hold my tongue.
Well, I mean, I'm not in those communities, but still I feel so disappointed by the way that he reacted to it, because I know that he does have that other side of him. Like, I know that he's that guy. Like, I know he's closer with Valley than he was to me. And Valley went the extra mile and had him on for an interview, and it started off all right because he said, look, I'm going to say up front, I apologize unequivocally. I apologize. I thought, okay, this is great. This is what we want. And then at the very end of the video, he did the same thing. I'm like, okay, perfect. What they should have done is cut out the hour and a half in between. All right, Hellhawk, this one's to you, mate. To Bigroyawesome, do you think the new supplies feature implemented with the update that pops and forces you to claim shards from tunes that are already maxed out is Foxnext forcing us to change seed with this claim? Wait, what is he talking about?
Because my thing has always been, like, my suspicion is that whenever you do an action that sends information to their server, it could change your seed. Yeah. So that's what he's talking about there.
But what's he talking about that it forces you to claim shards from tunes already maxed out? I haven't seen that.
Because there's a new thing in the, in all the supply stores, the main one, but it's like a new thing that pops up where it didn't do it before. It would pop up, but now it there's an extra little tab there, and then it automatically pops the thing up instead of more often than if you were, because normally you had to go back to the main store for it to pop up for the extra ones, but now it pops up like
it's on every store. Okay, so just for Ultima shards, you mean?
Yeah, for the Ultima shard things.
Okay, so do you think it's them trying to wipe out seed theory? Is his question?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I can't say for sure either way, but I mean, I don't know why they felt the need to program that in when there's so many other things they could work on. But I mean, who knows?
That's it. I think you were saying, how much gold do you spend for your trying to find the seed first?
Well, see, I've that's been more of a Reminex thing. Mine's always been claiming the raid milestones. That's what's always worked for me. I've tried the gold spin. It's never really worked for me. So your mileage may vary.
All right, Lance is better than you. Is the milestone event for SSM coming back? Just trying to decide if I hoard or not. I mean, who knows at this point, bro? Yes, with no clarity of answer. We don't know.
It will come back at some point, and yes, you should always hoard unless you absolutely need to bring something.
It'll come back at the worst time possible after you've just spent everything. That's where it's going to go.
Yep, and that is by far.
All right. Me Tank, do either of you have any unique war offenses or defenses? Who have you been using as a 5th X-Force? Best options for Vision? Is CM best with Brawlers on D or maybe with Ultimus and others? What do you think?
I have quite a few unique ones. Like my favorite thing with Minardians has been using Cable instead of Thanos. And I take down enemy Minardians. They're usually even up to 100k higher. So I do that, and then like half of my defenses are like some kind of hybrid I've talked about, or Marauders with Shuri and then Hulk. That gives people some problems. And then my Ultron defense still gets me 1 to 2 or more defenses every time. People just cannot handle it whatsoever. Okay. Because like everyone thought he'd be horrible on defense because, Black Bolt counters him. But everyone uses Black Bolt on Hydra now. So that's why Ultron's such a good one to go with. And then I have like a hybrid Brawlers team now. I have Rhino in there because that's going to counter them using Brotherhood against it with the blinds. So that's been working pretty decently for me. And then on offense, a lot of times I do kind of weird hybrid things. Like I do the Vulture with symbiotes to take on Asgardians, but the big key with that is if the Hela is like T13 or higher, like 90k to 100k is just not consistent enough. She's just too strong, and her Greg is too strong, believe it or not. Then you can't one-shot him with the Venom. And then it all falls apart.
Very true. All right, VMAC, do you think they'll create Drop Bear Dude for MSF, similar to Guillotine in Contest of Champions, to complement Squirrel Girl?
I don't know what either of those are.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Yeah, look, I mean, a lot of the ones that are in Contest of Champions, I'm surprised that a lot of those characters aren't here already. So, yeah, I think there's a chance. J1010, regular listener, enjoy the show. Mentioned a few weeks ago you split up Wakandans in war. Besides Killmonger with Mercs, do you have specific use cases for the others? Man, most wars, to be honest, with the amount of teams that I've got, I barely use anyone else in there, except for Shuri on offense. I've been using her a little bit with the Spider-Verse, so I can try and punch up a little bit on some Asgardians. That's kind of had a bit of mixed success for me, so I'll probably end up throwing her in with the Marauders. Once I get Strife a little bit further up, I'll probably end up using that team after all.
Yeah, I've been using Shuri with Marauders, and then I have Black Panther on Brawlers. The other two just collect dust.
I haven't used Brawlers in war in so long, man. I mean, I never really built them out anyway, I guess. But, yeah, it is what it is. All right, Harlem. Hey, fellas, love the pod. War strategy question. What is your priority list of buffing rooms to clear if all strength is equal? There's a debate between Medbay and Armory, or does it just depend? Please give scenarios if you can. I, unfortunately, my man, out of respect for the boys in my alliance, there's very little that those guys don't let me talk about, but war is one of them. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to answer that one for you, my dude.
I think as a general case, more you always want to go for Armory if you can, just because it's just this huge blow to them if they lose theirs before you lose yours. So I think generally you're going to want to go for the Armory over the Med Bay.
All right, Squallfire. Hey guys, long time listener, second time caller. Just pulled a 5 red star more. Can't wait to unlock and following suit from last week's 6 red star Hulk and Mantis. Congrats. But the real question is, eggs, fried, scrambled, or poached? What's the story?
Scrambled all the way.
I've gone through phases with all 3 of these, but for me, it's poached at the moment. I much prefer a really, really nice poached egg. It's pretty hard to beat. And I think it's because I spent so much time on the road when I was up and coming as a rep before I got into management of like all like really crappy hotels that just like the scrambled egg was with either so dry they'd clearly been in there from like 3 days before, or they were like so like wet and gluggy that they were just like you'd just gag on it like it was an off oyster or something. It was so gross.
Gross.
Couldn't do it, man. Couldn't do it. Yeah, there's a lot of foods I can't eat anymore because of all my time on the road back in the day because it's so feral. All right, KB13, have to say thank you, Chew, as I started listening to the D&D podcast. Thanks, buddy. For those of you who don't know what he's talking about, make sure you listen to the League of Extraordinary Dicemen, or if you're into League of Legends, check out The Adventures of Runeterra. That's a brand new Dungeons & Dragons podcast we have on Alternate Reality. And he said that he listened to that while he was trying not to blow out his brains while blitzing during this last event. Didn't spend a single dollar on cores or orbs, but spent 3,000 blitz charges to achieve this. And by this, he means he finished the milestones for Negasonic completely. Do you guys feel that 15 orbs was enough to make up for such ridiculous numbers and low frag drops with this event? Is it just me, or were these the worst rates for a new character orb? I mean, I got her at 4 stars without a core spent. So I don't know that I'd agree with that, because I've got some characters who were in campaigns where I got a lot less. Like, wasn't Toad in a campaign, or was it Blob?
Toad was the campaign.
Yeah, so I only got 3 stars on him. So, I mean, I got more out of that than I did here. But would I have gotten that far without those 15 orbs? Probably not. So it was an absolute just show of an event. It was not great at all. I agree with you there.
Yeah, horrible grind if you're trying to get all the milestones.
Absolutely. All right, last question for the week, folks. Dante9, at what level should Ironheart replace Vision in the Power Armor team? My Vision is level 71, Gear 13, 7664, 7 yellow, 4 red. I'm just starting to build up IH. I don't think she has to be that high. I think if she got to T12, 6664... probably 4 reds as well, because she really needs that defense down to land. Although, doesn't she get like really high focus for that?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, in that case, probably like 3 reds T12 I think is enough. Yeah.
Yeah, just try to put the bare minimum in her and just keep testing, and then put a little more if you think you need it. Probably don't need to like put tons and tons into her. Actually,
a question just came onto our server right now. Chewburger, did Roy just quit the game? Did you?
What? Who's saying
McFly.
this?
McFly's asking the question literally right now. Did Big Roy quit the game?
Who where?
In the general chat. Yeah.
Why would he think that?
We'll follow up with that after the show. What's that about? Interesting.
Maybe
not only is there, maybe there's not only drunk Cerebro and Decimal Point Jeff. Maybe someone's created like a fake Big Roy account.
I know someone impersonated me on He Who Shall Not Be Named stream and donated to him. So I mean, maybe
is that
that's
right?
the one they're thinking of. Yeah.
Oh man, who knows? All right, that's going to do it for that particular segment and indeed the show this week. If you have enjoyed what you've heard, folks, and you want to have your question answered next week, make sure you head to the Discord server, Strikeforce Masters of Launch. If you want to see some rad infographics or watch some of our videos, head to alternatereality.com or on the YouTube. If you really like this show and you want to support Roy and I, make sure you head to our Patreon page, patreon.com/SFMOL. And also, if you really, really enjoy the show and you think we deserve the 5-star review, head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave that there. And if you do leave a comment with it, we will also read out your review on air next week. I'm going to be doing a lot more streaming this week and next week, because I think I've got a little bit of time coming up my sleeve. So that you'll be able to find me at twitch.tv/Chewburger84. Hoping to get some videos out in about a week as well. Time's starting to come back a little bit for me. Otherwise, Roy, take us on out of here.
Yeah, I am Bigroyawesome on YouTube. I finally got another video up of my DD3 run. Hopefully I can get the rest of those done now, since I'm going to be done with my second run soon. So yeah, check me out on there. That's going to do it. Thanks for listening. Until next time, stay tuned and stay awesome.